So, she responded, not to me directly, but Candy Boy responded to the backlash she was facing like about 2 days ago. And oh my god, this is a tough watch. Because in order for me to make this video, I watched this full video, and it's pretty much giving typical YouTuber or TikToker apology of,
oh my gosh, I said or did something bad, so now I gotta backtrack on everything I said and make an apology video that's not really an apology video, but it's an apology video because I said it was.
Now, if you want to watch the full video, it is up on YouTube still currently, and somebody on TikTok actually posted it, so if you don't want to go on YouTube yourself, you can just watch it on TikTok. Also, let me address that I am not for no way saying go and attack this person. I am mostly just saying this for entertainment and just to go over the situation with you guys. I'm no way saying go attack her, go flame her, even though I'm kind of doing that myself in this video, but don't go to her comment section and go your way harass her, please, guys. Anyways, let's get into it, starting with the Linnea controversy, which is the first thing she started off with.
By far was my thoughts on Linnea. I definitely want to apologize for the harsh tone I took when talking about her. I wrote that section in an angry state of mind, and I should have edited it to be a bit more objective. I understand that a lot of people think I'm ableist now when I took when talking about her. I wrote that section in an angry state of mind, and I should have edited it to be a bit more objective. I understand that a lot of people think I'm ableist now because of the way that I spoke about a character that people feel is autism coded. Yes, I know that people on the autism spectrum may have a difficult time picking up on social cues or personal space, and that Linnea struggles with both of these. Yes, I know about special interests and that Linnea's has to do with wildlife. I never meant to diminish people with autism, and if I hurt you with my words, I'm so sorry for that. I just want to put my thoughts into a little bit more context. First off, I went to school to become a teacher. I have a bachelor's degree in early childhood education, so I'm familiar with different disabilities and what those look like for students. I knew all of this when I wrote the video. Though I'm not currently a teacher, I work with students at different ability levels regularly at my job. Linnea frustrates me as a representation of the autism spectrum because her portrayal aligns a lot with portrayals of creep or pervert characters in anime. The thing that bothers me especially is the grabby hands that she does in the trailer, which is why I put her on screen with this character from Ace Attorney, who is explicitly supposed to be creepy. That's something specifically I would want to see changed because to me, it felt ableist to portray her with these predatory mannerisms when they could have just had her be fascinated with the Melu scenes without doing stuff like that. This comes down to agency, like I said in the video. Linnea has no control over how she's represented because she's not real. I've literally had college professors hammer into my head that characters are products and reflections of their authors, and that they are not autonomous and should not be discussed as such. It's instead a reflection on Hoyo that they decided to portray her that way. Everything else about her, I guess I could take or leave. So that is what I should have said about Linnea. Again, I'm so sorry if my comments about her hurt anyone. I should have spoken with more tact and not used the harsh words that I did.
Oh my gosh, it's giving, well, I'm sorry guys, but I'm still right. Because Linnea apparently thinking that Melalooses are so cute and adorable means she's romantically What? This is an innocent child character, by the way. So why are you comparing a child character to an actual creep in a video game that is not even remotely related to Genshin? Like, what is your comparison there? There's no comparison there. And also using the excuse of,
oh, I'm a teacher, I know what disabilities look like,
is absolutely stupid, dude. Because teachers do not give a fuck about disabilities. I know a lot of them do, but most of them don't. Also, a degree in education, but you still don't know how to learn.
Similarly, I've gotten some accusations of racism because of what I said about Nutland, specifically thinking a gladiator plotline would have worked better than the canon plot. I think ultimately for me this comes down to war not working as a divine ideal in concept, which is something I also said in the video, because gladiators was the first thing that came to mind as a way that an Archon could uphold war, just as the other Archons uphold their ideals. This idea had nothing to do with the race or culture of the characters from Nutland, but I can see how it might have come off that way. And again, I'm sorry for that.
Oh my gosh, this is how stupid you are, because in your original video, you're literally backtracking so much, girl. In your original video, you basically said that you wanted Nutland to be a place where it's just war constantly all the time and everybody's barbaric. That is what you basically said, dude. I hate whenever people say, Nutland is the nation of war. Why isn't there any wars going on at all at Nutland? This is absolutely appalling to me, because also in your original video, you commented on how they're not representing African and Latin American cultures enough, which I can agree with, then proceed to make the same reused colonial stereotype that indigenous tribes just fight with each other all the time.
I also want to address my discussion of the fan service in the game. No, I do not hate revealing designs in principle, and it has nothing to do with the fact that I'm not attracted to women. There are plenty of revealing designs that I think are really beautiful and well done, and I myself enjoy dressing in cute little outfits, as you can see by the Sona design that I made that everyone hated. Again, it's partly about agency, like I said earlier. I can choose to represent myself how I want, and this design is actually pretty close to how I dress in real life. But I've also had people coming after me for not taking fan service into account when it comes to the male characters because I didn't mention Lowen. First off, I wrote that video before all of that content came out. I basically only knew what he looked like, and I met him in Darkest Quest when I wrote the script, and he had like 3 lines in that quest. The video took a long time to edit, so I couldn't keep up with all the current content, but I also think it's important to give some more attention to the fan service elements of the male characters. Lowen enjoys combat and makes these crazy facial expressions when he fights. A lot of Flynn's dialogue could be interpreted as flirtatious, and even if it's not, his gentlemanly personality is fan servicey too. Linny wears garters and tights and stuff, and he also gives the Traveler a rainbow rose. Goro is a dog boy with a crop top. You can see how it's usually something different with each character, but with the women I feel like it's always the same and very surface level. She has bare legs, therefore she's fan service. She's a tsundere, therefore she's fan service. I don't mind if a character is fan servicey in principle. I actually said in the video that I wish Escoffier was more like Lowen in terms of presentation because I thought that would have been more interesting, but it gets boring to see it happen to every new character that they release. It seems like they're more concerned lately with finding not so subtle ways to show more and more skin rather than what would look most interesting or best communicate who the character is. Or instead, they do what they did to Seat Lally recently and just reduce her to a childish simp who gets jealous when the Traveler hangs out with other people. If that's your thing, that's completely fine. We don't have to agree on this. I just find it frustrating knowing that Hoyo can write very interesting characters but decides that writing stuff like this is more important. I didn't think it was misogynistic to point out that the women in the game are treated differently than the men. Quite the opposite, actually. But again, maybe I'm the one who's in the wrong. And no, just because I think a villain is interesting does not mean I defend or condone their actions. Dottore is an interesting villain with interesting motives, but I obviously do not think that anything he did was right. Dottore isn't even one of my favorite characters or anything. There's actually quite a bit I don't like about the way he's written, but people have always liked villains in other media, so I'm a little confused about where that particular criticism is coming from. But
oh my god, girl, if you communicated any of this from the start in your original video, then we wouldn't be flaming you as hard as you did. Also, the fact that you didn't address the fact that you literally called Navia a slut, called Nefer a stripper, and you didn't even criticize the male characters until you started getting flamed for it is absolutely so hilarious to me. You also still praised the male characters for doing most of the same things the female characters did, and still made misogynistic statements. You literally still glazed the male characters, and like I said, you didn't address directly what you said about the female characters. You also didn't address the fact that you mischaracterized a lot of the female characters as well. And using the excuse of, oh, I didn't really look into Lohan's character before I made that segment about him, so I'm really sorry about that, is absolutely wild to me, because what the fuck you mean you did not look into a character before putting something about them in the video? You cannot just half-ass a video and get lazy when editing and find out there's some new information and decide, oh, I'm not gonna put this in my video because it's just too hard for me. As a person who does editing, I get it, but you still don't need to half-ass re-release a video and expect, oh my gosh, why are people hating on me now? Because you decide not to edit that segment or take that segment out of your video. Just saying, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, honey. Now that I'm done ranting about her, let me rant about some of you guys. The switch up that has happened between some of you guys is absolutely insane to me. Because what do you mean everybody was absolutely flaming her, not even on her side, nobody was defending her. It was to the point where literally all the Hoyoverse fandoms, Hawkeye Star Rail, Zenless Zone Zero, and Genshin banded together and started hating on her. These three fandoms all started hating on her. But then a lot of you guys, whenever her follow-up apology video came out, you guys were like,
Oh, guys, stop. She's just a person who's opinion on the internet. You guys need to stop flaming her and critiquing her.
the switch up is absolutely crazy to me on you guys. That shows that you guys have absolutely no spine. If I say something on the internet and I put it out there, I'm gonna stick to it, dude. Because I'd rather not look like a fool and sit there being an absolute ass of myself because I said something stupid and then backtrack and be like, oh no, well, I'm actually sorry guys, and then make up some stupid apology. I am not gonna do that because you know how stupid that is and how embarrassing that looks? No, show some actual fucking spine and stick to your original opinion and stop turning around and defending her. And I know that last comment ruffled some feathers with a lot of you guys, and I absolutely do not fucking care because, like I said, show some fucking spine and stick to your original opinion instead of turning around whenever everybody else is like, oh, well, she's actually not a bad person. And I saw somebody, I can't remember the person who posted this, but somebody said,
You Genshin Impact players are so hypocritical because you guys have actually been complaining about the same stuff Candy Bug has been for years, but whenever somebody else does it, it's a problem.
it is a problem because of how she worded certain things and how she didn't want to explain certain things in her original video, and instead went back and backtracked in her apology video and acted like all of the things she did was completely right. She didn't give an apology. All she said was just justifying what she said, basically, and basically was saying, well, I'm sorry, but I'm right, guys. And like I said in the beginning of my last video, she did have some really good critiques at the beginning of her video, but it just fell flat whenever she started mentioning all this random stuff that didn't make any absolute sense. Like I already mentioned in the last video and in this video again, calling Linnea a PDF file, calling Navia a slut, and calling Nefer a stripper, while also she was glazing the male characters and didn't mischaracterize any of the male characters and was basically drooling over the male characters almost the entire video. And like I said, she didn't go back, apologize in quotations, she didn't go back, apologize, and backtrack until her apology video when people were outraged and calling her out because they were mad, and she was just basically saying, oh, I'm sorry, but I'm still right, like I said. Now, let me just say something. I know she may have made a video of an opinion I disagree on, but am I going to sit there in the comment section of her video or on Twitter or on any other video and say, oh, she deserves to die or send her death threats and shit like that? No, because that is absolutely ludicrous. And what the hell are we even doing anymore on the internet? Because why are we sending people death threats over opinions that we don't agree upon anymore? Like, can we just agree to disagree or do what I'm doing and making a video about it, critiquing her and calling her out while not sending any death threats to her? Because I can agree, like I said, I disagree on some points that she made, but I'm not going to go into her comment section and say she deserves to die because it's absolutely wild to me. You people who are doing that are absolutely miserable and pathetic and sick. And like I said, I do not defend her in any way because some of the opinions, like I said, I disagree on them on, and I completely understand why people be mad at some of these critiques, but sending death threats is a little way too far for me. Anyways, that's all I really had to say about her response video. I'm sorry this went on a little too long, and also, like I said, please don't send death threats to her, please don't hate on her, don't go to her video and hate on her, which I know you guys probably already will, or already have, or will do even though I tell you not to, but please just do not harass her in any way. A wise man once told me, opinions are like buttholes, they stink and everybody has them, especially on the internet. Anyways, guys, see you in the next one.